welcome again to another entry in our Intro to BattleMechs series. We are currently covering the mechs contained in the A Game of Armored Combat box set. This set is the best way for a new mech warrior to get into the BattleTech tabletop hobby, as it comes with everything needed to play real games of classic BattleTech with 2 players. Of the 8 BattleMechs contained in the box, we have already looked at the Locust, Commando, and Shadowhawk. Now let's take a look at another great intro mech, the 55-ton Wolverine. While powerful, the BattleMechs the Federated Sons were used to fielding, such as the Maquis and BattleAxe, were on the slow end. Needing a frontline mech which could get in faster and still last through the battle, Norse BattleMech Works were contracted, with the help from then First Prince Davian to fulfill this necessity. Looking to 2 rival Terran hegemony BattleMech designs, Maxwell Manufacturing's Griffin and Lang Industries' Shadowhawk, for inspiration, Norse released the prototype Wolverine in 2471. With mobility-first design principles, the WVR-1R Wolverine came equipped with a short-barreled autocannon and a medium laser to cover the close range area the autocannon couldn't. Acknowledging the lack of firepower the 1R had when compared to other, similar, BattleMech designs, Norse experimented with the addition of a particle projectile cannon instead of the autocannon, but overheating issues made this modification a rejected failure. Since adding larger weaponry was out of the question, Norse then opted to increase the Wolverine's armor. The first production model of the WVR-1R, or the Varney-1R, was given to Prince Richard Varney, a rival of First Prince Davian. This BattleMech was handed down from generation to generation of Varneys, only to eventually wind up in the hands of the Capellan Confederation. 19 years later, Norse would eventually trade out some armor and ammunition on the Wolverine to fit a 6-pack SRM launcher to the new WLV-3R's left shoulder. Norse BattleMech Works would eventually sell the rights to the Wolverine to Callan Industries. The Star League Defense Force, needing new forces for their upcoming plot to bring the periphery states under Terran hegemony control, this later becoming known as the Reunification War, contracted Callan Industries to design a Heavy Scout, a battle mech which could take on more dangerous scouting responsibilities light mechs could not. In 2575, Callan delivered the WVR-6R to great reception, eventually becoming wildly available outside of the SLDF. The 6R, equipped with a Whirlwind Autocannon 5, Harpoon 6 short-range missile launcher, and a Magna Mk2 medium laser, a Cortec 275 fusion engine, 5 Northrop 12,000 jump jets, and a significant amount of armor, had great lasting power and maneuverability. A unique note about the Magna medium laser was it was originally installed with a ball turret mount, enabling 360-degree firing. This additional firing arc was eliminated when the SRM pack and additional communications gear were added to the chassis and would get in the way. Unfortunately, the weight of the 55-ton BattleMech and Northrop's lack of power would also cause regular mechanical failures. Even with its shortcomings, the Wolverine would become a regular sight throughout the sphere. However, in 2589, the Draconis Combine would develop the WVR-6K Wolverine, dumping the faulty Northrop jump jets and thus much of the mobility of the BattleMech, as well as the autocannon, replacing them with a series of varying lasers and even more armor and heat sinks to make up for the laser's added heat generation. House Credo would use the Wolverine during multiple skirmishes with House Davian, most notably on Bergman's planet, where the Combine's Legion of Vega would defend against the Federated Sons' Deneb Light Cavalry in 2986. The Free Worlds League would later perform its own modifications to the 6R in 2816 to develop their own WVR-6M model. The 6M replaced the autocannon with a second medium laser due to raids by the Lyran Commonwealth, destroying the Whirlwind stockpiles at the Callan plant on Thermopolis during the First Succession War. House Merrick would also follow House Credo's example by adding heat sinks and additional armor as well. Amid the Fourth Succession War, the Federated Sons captured a large Callan Industries assembly line on Nanking from the Capellans, capable of producing Wolverine BattleMechs, and used this facility, as well as newly recovered technology from the Helm Memory Core, to develop the WVR-7D Wolverine, released in 3050. With a newly added extralight engine and the addition of ferrofibrous armor, the 7D was able to significantly increase its firepower. Replacing the aging Whirlwind autocannon is a new GM Nova 5 autocannon. The Magna Mk2 medium laser was upgraded to a Satell Precision Line medium pulse laser, and it kept the Harpoon 6 SRM. For added protection, the Callan plant on Nanking also added another half-ton of armor and cellular ammunition storage equipment meant to protect the core of the 7D in the event of an ammunition explosion, as well as extra heat-sinking capability. For an emergency speed boost, it also had installed Myanmar Accelerated Signal Circuitry, or MASC, which needed to be used sparingly and with great care. That same year, the Draconis Combine, who had previously captured the Norse BattleMech works from the Federated Sons during the Fourth Succession War, released their own WVR-7K Wolverine. The 7K also implemented an extra light engine, an extra ton and a half of armor, and upgraded the heat sinks to double heat sinks, effectively removing concerns regarding overheating. The higher powered heat sinks were justified by the addition of many heat-building energy weapon upgrades, including a Victory Drumbeat Large Pulse Laser, Victory Throb Small Pulse Laser, and the Satell Precision Line Medium Pulse Laser seen on the WVR-7D. The 7K also included two Talos 6 short-range missile delivery systems. 3050, being a busy year for Wolverine development, also saw the introduction of a new Free Worlds League model designated the WVR-7M at the Callan Industries plant on Thermopolis, as well as the Free Worlds League Defense Industries plant on Gibson. The 7M boasts an extra light engine, a MASC system, two diverse optic Sunbeam extended range large lasers, two Magna 400P medium pulse lasers, and a Harpoon 6 short range missile launcher. To counter the intense heat production of the advanced laser systems, the 7M has 12 double heat sinks. Let's take a closer look at the tabletop variants for classic BattleTech. Considering this is an introduction video, we will limit our selection to those produced during the Star League era through the Clan Invasion era. Let's get started with the Star League era. The Federated Sons Wolverine prototype WVR-1R was developed in 2471. It is equipped with primitive level components which require special rules to field. These are primitive armor, primitive cockpit, primitive engine, and primitive jump jets. The rules for primitive components can be found in the Interstellar Operations Alternate Eras rulebook. The primitive fusion engine and 4 prototype jump jets provide the 1R with a walking speed of 4, running speed of 6, and a jumping distance of 4. It is protected by 14.5 tons of armor. For offense, it is equipped with a medium laser and an autocannon 5 for a potential of 10 damage per round, spread between 2 possible locations. Its weapons can accumulate up to 4 heat per round, and it has 10 heat sinks, which is plenty for heat control each turn. This 885 BV prototype plays the role of skirmisher. The Federated Sons Wolverine prototype variant, the WVR-3R, was developed in 2490. It is equipped with primitive level components just like its predecessor. Its primitive fusion engine and primitive jump jets give it a movement profile of 464. It is protected by 11.5 tons of armor. For offense, it is equipped with a medium laser, an SRM-6, and an AC-5 for a potential of 22 damage per round, spread between 8 possible locations. Its weapons can accumulate up to 8 heat per round, and it has 10 heat sinks for dissipation, requiring minor heat control. This 867 BV prototype variant plays the role of skirmisher. The Star League Defense Force WVR-6R Wolverine was developed in 2575. Its fusion engine and 5 jump jets give it a movement profile of 585. It is protected by 9.5 tons of armor. For offense, it is equipped with the same arms as the 3R, a medium laser, an SRM-6, and an AC-5, for a potential of 22 damage per round, spread between 8 possible locations. Its weapons can accumulate up to 8 heat per round, and it has 12 heat sinks for dissipation, requiring minor heat control. This 1101 BV variant plays the role of skirmisher. The Draconis Combine WVR-6K Wolverine was developed in 2598. Its fusion engine gives it a movement profile of 580. It is protected by 11.5 tons of armor. For offense, it is equipped with a large laser, 2 medium lasers, a small laser, and an SRM-6 for a potential of 33 damage per round spread between 10 possible locations. Its weapons can accumulate up to 19 heat per round, and it has 14 heat sinks for dissipation, requiring moderate heat control. This 1248 BV variant plays the role of skirmisher. The Federated Suns WVR-6D Wolverine was developed in 2612. Its fusion engine and 5 jump jets give it a movement profile of 585. It is protected by 9.5 tons of armor. For offense, it is equipped with a medium laser and an AC-10 for a potential of 15 damage per round, spread between 2 possible locations. Its weapons can accumulate up to 6 heat per round, and it has 11 heat sinks for dissipation, just barely eliminating the need for heat control. This 1115 BV variant plays the role of skirmisher. Now let's review a Wolverine variant developed during the Succession Wars era. The Free Worlds League WVR-6M Wolverine was developed in 2816. Its fusion engine and 5 jump jets give it a movement profile of 585. It is protected by 10.5 tons of armor. For offense, it is equipped with a large laser, 2 medium lasers, and an SRM-6 for a potential of 30 damage per round, spread between 9 possible locations. Its weapons can accumulate up to 18 heat per round, and it has 14 heat sinks for dissipation, requiring moderate heat control. This 1291 BV variant plays the role of skirmisher. Lastly, let's review a few Wolverine variants developed in the Clan Invasion era. The Federated Suns WVR-7D was developed in 3050. Its extra light fusion engine and 5 jump jets give it a movement profile of 585. It also has Myomer acceleration signal circuitry, which can give it a temporary ground movement speed of 10. It is protected by 10 tons of ferrofibrous armor. For offense, it is equipped with an Ultra AC-5, an SRM-6, and a medium pulse laser, for a potential of 28 damage per round spread between 9 possible locations. Its weapons can accumulate up to 10 heat per round, and it has 13 heat sinks for dissipation, requiring minor heat control. This 1314 BV variant plays the role of skirmisher. The Draconis Combine WVR-7K Wolverine was developed in 3050. Its extra light fusion engine and 5 jump jets give it a movement profile of 585. It is protected by 12 tons of armor. For offense, it is equipped with a large pulse laser, a medium pulse laser, a small pulse laser, and 2 SRM-6s, for a potential of 42 damage spread between 15 possible locations. Its weapons can accumulate up to 24 heat per round, and it has 13 double heat sinks for dissipation, requiring minor heat control. This 1331 BV variant plays the role of skirmisher. The Free Worlds League WVR-7M was developed in 3050. Its extra light fusion engine and 5 jump jets give it a movement profile of 585. It also has mask installed, which can give it a temporary ground movement speed of 10. It is protected by 10 tons of armor. For offense, it is equipped with 2 ER large lasers, 2 medium pulse lasers, and an SRM-6 for a potential 40 damage per round spread between 10 possible locations. Its weapons can accumulate up to 36 heat per round, and it has 12 double heat sinks for dissipation, requiring moderate heat control. This 1673 BV variant plays the role of skirmisher. When playing with the rules for design quirks, the Wolverine takes these: Command Mech, which gives it a +1 bonus to initiative rolls. Extended Torso Twist, which allows for an extra hex of torso twisting ability. Improved communications, requiring use of advanced rules found in the Tactical Operations Advanced Rules Rulebook, which ignores the first level of ghost targets and allows a BattleMech satellite uplink attempt without giving up its actions. Jettison-capable weapon for the AC-5, which allows Wolverines equipped with an AC-5 to drop and pick up that weapon during gameplay. Protected actuators, adding resistance to leg and swarm attacks by infantry. Ubiquitous, which makes it easier to find replacement parts in campaign play. And Cramped cockpit, making piloting skill rolls more difficult. The Wolverine is an older BattleMech and has seen use from almost every faction in BattleTech lore. It is quite mobile for a 55-ton mech, and many variants have options for fire at short to medium range. The Federated Sun's original idea of a heavy scout has been well developed in the Wolverine variants throughout the eras. One thing to keep in mind while fielding many of these variants is its dependence on ammunition and its lack thereof. Its great jumping distance is awesome for getting in and harassing enemies, but the potential heat generation can limit the firing options of a Wolverine needing to stay cool, as many are lacking in heat sinks. The inclusion of SRM-6s on many of the early Wolverine variants, 2 on the 7K, also gives the BattleMech a fairly decent spread with damage, making them great as a follow-up attacker for critical hits. Overall, the Wolverine is pretty decent as an introductory medium mech for use in these early eras. Thanks again for tuning into this entry in our Intro to BattleMech series. I hope you are enjoying them. I am having a great time researching and writing these videos. If you have any questions or corrections, please leave a comment. Also, feel free to leave a comment if there is something in this video you think can be better, and you want to provide some constructive criticism. If you enjoyed this, please press the like button, and if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. In our next BattleMech video, we will cover the catapult. Until then, take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.